we have to stop kidding around now and start doing some maths. Hi, everyone. It is a new day. It is Tuesday, and we are starting a new topic on financial maths, as we've been discussing. So welcome. And just so you know, we're going to be doing that this week and next week, and then the week after it's going to be analytical geometry. So stick around. We are covering all the topics that you need. I think some of you are relieved that probability is over. Judging by the quiz results, Miss Coco, it wasn't bad, but we have had the quizzes.
Yeah.
We've had quizzes where almost everyone gets 100%, but that was not the last probability quiz.
No, it was not. It's okay, guys.
Yeah, we don't blame you. It is tricky, but now we're doing finance, and that's a bit better, and a place where you can maybe score some extra marks because it is a little bit easier. So, any new Watobians in the house this evening? Anyone here for the first time? Raise your hand so that we can welcome you in true Watobian fashion. There's Chinamiram with the cool name. Swazi, welcome Swazi. And Asse, is it Asse or Ace? I want Asse.
I think it's Asse, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then anyone else? Don't be shy. All Watobians go through this. All Watobians have to own up that they are new when they are new, so that we can welcome you and make you feel part of us. Okay, so welcome, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun, and I hope to see you back here many more times learning maths with us. Tandalwetu says that she would have written her test on analytical geometry, only your first of many tests on analytical geometry, Tandalwetu. You don't write tests and then it's over. You write tests and that's only the start of it. Okay, so you'll have a chance to just brush up on your skills. So if our timing is a little bit different to your school, etc., guys, no learning is wasted. You will still get a chance, and by then maybe Tandalwetu, you will have your results and you'll be able to go through it again and see what happened, where you went wrong, if you went wrong. So there's just always an opportunity to learn. Okay, so don't feel like you won't benefit from it, because you definitely will. Okay, so speaking of the quiz, we've got our shout outs. Oh my word, Tobo, we love some bragging, and there's some bragging, some 87%. That's very nice. Well done. I wonder what that was on. Was that on what's that stuff that we just did? Probability. Let us know what that was on. Okay. So back to our quiz results. These are top 10 peeps who scored the top 10 marks. Listen, there were loads of guest people doing their quizzes again. Your name cannot come on the board if you're a guest, okay? So you gotta sign in. So Munete, Nyasha, Siabonga, Kutlano, Letakazi, Kamuchelo, Quirin, Fumisa, Buchle, and Kelly. Kelly is new. Kelly hasn't been on the board before. There's a few people here who have never been. Well done to all of you. You got top 10 scores last week, and that's just amazing. So if you want your name on the board, you got to sign in, okay? Sign in with your name, and we can put your name on the board. Ria got 90%. That is amazing on your report, Ria. That is very, very well done. We are very proud of you, as I'm sure your parents and everyone are as well. So well done, and well done for putting some extra work in with Watobi. and hopefully that has paid off. Okay, well done. Anyone else want to brag? Go right ahead. We love it. We love bragging. Okay, so let's start this topic on financial maths. Oh, I left out the house rules, Miss Coco. So quick house rules. Stay on mute just so that we don't have any background noises. And don't put anything in the chat that's personal, okay? And don't DM anyone. It's not allowed. Just put stuff in the chat that's related to this lesson and to maths. Just questions, answers, etc. So that's the chat, that's the mute. If you do want to ask a question, raise your hand. I'll give you a chance to unmute yourself, and then you must just be quick, okay? So that we don't wait a long time for you to speak. We like that to happen quickly. Okay, and then you have to participate, because maths can only be learned if, yes, because maths is not a spectator sport. That is what Monica always says. She didn't hear it from me at all. She made it up herself. But you got to get involved. You got to try. You got to be willing to be wrong and make mistakes. No good mathematician became good by, if you know, not ever being wrong. You really do only get good by being wrong all the time. Trust me, some mathematicians have been wrong, very wrong, a lot. Okay, so did I leave any of the rules out? I think that's it. Oh no, about being kind and nice. Everyone must be kind and nice to each other, and yeah, encourage each other and not say anything nasty. We will remove you from the room if you are you know, making remarks that are not appropriate, or if you are nasty to anyone. We like to keep this a happy and positive space. Okay. Let me just read what else Monica said here. So you're writing again on finance and analytical. Okay, well done, Monica. Well done to everyone who's done so well. It is really, really great. And yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. Right, so we're going to do a little warm up, because with financial maths, you want to know how to calculate percentages. So we're going to work on our basic skills a little bit with percentages. So I want you to pick any three numbers from this block where it says pick a number, and then you check in the column next to it what you need to do. Must you add a percentage, subtract a percentage, and then you give your answer. Okay, so any three numbers you choose, but be ready to give your answer when we call for it. Okay, so just three. You don't have to do all of them, just choose three, but make sure you do some adding and subtracting. Okay, so Monica, we have the same pencil, I see. Okay, everybody, let's go. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Just hold your answers. Hold your answers. Hi, Simpiwe, and hi, Connor, Sanbonani. Skako, what's the reply to Sanbonani? Is it Sanbonani?
Pretty much, yes. Or Yebo Sawubona. That's what we say.
Yebo Sawubona.
There we go.
Okay, if you chose 20, pop your answer in the chat. Increase 20 by 10%. What do we get? Pop it in the chat if you chose 20. Okay, 22 is the right answer. How do we do that? We can work out 10% of 20, which is 2, and then we need to add it to 20. So then we go 22 is our answer because we add the 2 to the 20. Okay. If you chose 40 and you added 50%, what do you get? $60. Well done. That is 60 indeed. And for that one again, we go 50 over 100 times 40. But you can also do it in your head quite quickly. 50% of 40 is 20, and then you add it to the 40, that's 60. And then if you chose 60 as your number, added 70, that's right, 102. Well done. Okay, 38 minus 10%. Who chose 38? 34.2, that's right. We go 10% of 38 gives me 3,8, and then I subtract that from 38 to get 34,2. Okay, and then 220 minus 15, what did you get? Pop it in the chat. Mitchell says Sandy, Sinisipo, they all did 220, and that's 187. I totally agree. And last one, we're reducing 5 by 25%. Anyone else did 5? Yeah, Tsiamu. Sandy, just check. 25% of, let me just double check this one. No, it is right, 3,75. That's just to save power and data. I'm just gonna have to go on to I have to switch my camera off, guys. So I'm here. You can hear me, but I'm gonna switch my camera off. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna look at after that little warm-up round with the percentages is how to calculate a percentage change. So let's see. In January, a puppy weighed 4 kilograms. 3 months later, the same puppy weighed 5 kilograms. What was the percentage increase in the puppy's weight? So I do want you to try this one. Just 30 seconds, try it on your own, see if you know what to do. If you don't know what to do, not a train smash. We're all going to work out a few of these, but I do want to see just how much you know. Right. Thanks, Ms. Coco. Yes, I think it will help if everyone maybe just switch off their cameras for my connection so that I don't lag or, yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay. Right, pop your answer in the chat if you have it. The percentage increase of the puppy's weight. Okay, I think just to save some time to make up for the time we lost, I'm going to say, first we have to work out the difference in the puppy's weight. So we're going to go 5 minus 4. That is 1 kilogram. Ms. Coco, can you just let me know if you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. So that's 1 kilogram change, right? So now we're going to calculate how much change that is of the puppy's original weight. You always work out the percentage change on the original amount. So we go, that's 1 over 4 times by 100 so that we can get a percentage. And that's going to give me 25%. Okay, just pop a thumbs up in the chat if you're happy with that and if that makes sense. If it's not making sense, just ask a question. The 4 is the original weight of the puppy. This just makes me think of puppies, and that just makes me happy because puppies are just amazing. Chinamirum says all good. Right, now it's your turn. Try this one. A piece is cut from 130 centimeter length of wood so that the remaining length is 104. What percentage of the wood has been cut off? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now. Work out how much was cut off and then work that out as a percentage of the original, and that's going to give you the percentage change. Pop it in the chat as soon as you've worked it out. Isa and Samo, do you see now why we are subtracting? We are just first working out by how much the Misa says 20%, Yenzi, Monete. Well, these are the quiz top scorers, so I probably can just say, yeah, 20 is right and move on. Okay.
No, ma'am, we can't do that. What if they're not right?
If the quiz top scorers say it's 20, then it must be.
No, ma'am.
So 130 minus 104, that's 26. And then we're going to put the 26 over the 130, which was the original amount, and we're going to times it by 100. And that gives me 26 divided by 130. That gives me 20%. See, Ms. Kaka, they were right. Okay, Bontlia, I just went over how we got 20. We first take the 130 minus the 104 to see by how much the wood has changed, by how much it's been chopped off. And then we calculate that amount as a percentage of the original. You always work it out as a percentage of the original when you do percentage change. Okay, right. Last one. Pop your answer in the chat when you're done. Okay, so Sanda says 45.5. Let's see what the other Watobians say. Remember, we need a percentage. So your answer, the answer that you put in the chat must be as a percentage. We haven't given the answer yet, guys. We are seeing what everyone is saying. Okay, so we start by working out the difference. 28,450 minus 15,500. And what do we get? 28,450 minus 15,500 is 12,950. And then 12,950 we put over the original amount, which is 28,450. Make sure you did that. And then you times that by 100. So divided by 28,450. And I agree with those who got 45,5 and 52, and we had to round that to the nearest whole number, which was 46%. Oh, sorry, you're right. Oh, you're right. 28. Must be because I'm sitting here in the dark and I can't.
Sorry, ma'am. I also got the same answer, and I was like, 45.
15,500.
We can't trust the kids. Yeah, we can't trust the kids who got 100% on the quiz. We're not trusting them.
So we all made that mistake. You see now why I say it is good to make mistakes, guys. We learn from our mistakes. Okay, so with the VAT calculations, remember VAT is something we pay because the government charges VAT, and VAT is charged on all basic goods and services and everything we buy, basically. And the VAT rate is 15%. It was always 14%, and then one Minister of Finance decided to put it up a few years back. So now we pay only on a few things. We don't pay VAT, like vegetables, certain like bread, mealie meals, stuff like that. Okay, so quick and easy way to calculate VAT is to say, okay, if I am buying something like a laptop in our example here, and the price before VAT is 3,000. What is the price once VAT has been added? So we basically say the 3,000 is 100%, and we're going to add 15%. And the amount after VAT with the 15% is going to be 115% of the original amount. And if we take that 115 and we put it over 100, we get 1,15. So to make our calculation really quick and easy, we can just take the 3,000, which is what our laptop cost, and times it by 1.15, which is this calculation over here. And then we get 3,450. So 450 Rand is what we pay in VAT. And the total we're going to pay for this laptop that it originally cost 3,000 Rand. I think this is a really old example because I can't think of a laptop that costs 3,000 Rand. But in any case, in this idealistic world where laptops cost 3,000 Rand, we're going to pay 3,450. Okay, can I just see Watobians, if you understand that? Put a thumbs up in the chat. You might have a different way of doing it. That's okay. Yes, it does. Bontle, the 1.5 represents increasing the original amount by 15%. Okay, wonderful. Now let's carry on and see what do we do if we have a price that includes VAT, and we are now going to calculate what the amount before VAT was added, what that amount is. So if we are adding that, we times by 1.15. If we want to know what something cost before VAT was added, we're going to divide by 1.15. Okay. And this is just a quick, easy way to do it. Again, you might have learned a different way somewhere along the line. That is absolutely fine. Okay. So the price of a laptop is 3,450 inclusive of VAT. What was the value of the laptop before VAT was added? So we take the 3,450 divided by 115 and we get 3,000. And you can check on your calculator if you don't believe me. Okay, so just put another thumbs up if you understand how to work out the amount without VAT dividing by the 1.15. Okay, okie dokes. Right, let's go. There's 4 questions there for you to do. The first 2, you have to determine the price after you've added VAT. And then in the second round of questions, you have to calculate the price before VAT was added. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes and then we're going to call for answers in the chat. So just hold your answers for now, okay? Ms. Coco, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I think
Because
Alisa's just, yeah, she's just confused. She thought maybe you left again, but no, ma'am's just quiet.
Okay, guys, pop your answers in the chat for a pair of jeans. The first one. Yeah, that's right. That's 171,35. And then a jacket costs 189 before VAT. So what is the price after VAT? As was added, pop it in the chat. Nice, 217,35. Good. And now we have to work backwards to get the amount before VAT was added. So 169 before VAT was added, we divide by 1.15. Yes, and I completely agree. That is 146,96. 146,96, and then 230 inclusive of that. What is that going to be? 230 divided by 1.15. 200. Great stuff, everybody. Okay, so that takes care of the VAT and the percentages. Let's go on to simple interest. Right, so who's never heard of simple interest before? Just pop a thumbs up in the chat if you don't know anything about simple interest. Nothing. Asanda. Yes, Claire, because the government decides that, and it stays that way until the government decides to change it. Okay, so just so we can make up for a little bit of lost time. So simple interest means that you are only earning interest on the amount of money that you put away. So interest is charged in the real world one day when you're going to actually start making money and saving money and spending money and borrowing money. Then you can invest your money, or you can borrow money, which is not always a good idea because you have to pay interest to the bank when you borrow money. But if you save your money, the bank pays you interest. So your money becomes more if you leave it in the bank, if you're saving. But if you borrow, in the end, you have to pay back a lot more to the person you borrow from, or the bank that you're borrowing from. So simple interest is just, it's different to compound interest, and we'll talk a bit more about compound interest on Thursday, but simple interest is different from compound interest because simple interest is only charged on the original amount of money that you put away. Compound interest, as your money stays in the bank and it grows and it earns interest, compound interest is interest on interest. Okay. So for simple interest, we can use this formula to calculate how much we have in the bank if we put some money away and the bank gives us simple interest. So A stands for the accumulated amount, and then P is your principal amount. That is the amount you start off with. A is the amount that you have at the end. P is what you start off with, what you put away. And I is the interest rate as a decimal, and N is the number of years. It's a little bit different when it's compound interest. And for those of you who have done compound interest already, you'll know that N is a little bit different. But for simple interest, it's just all about the years. Okay. So if your time is given to you in months, you need to convert it to years. Okay. Let's start off with these few calculations here. And the first one is, when he retired, Bill invested his lump sum of 80,000 Rand at 15% per annum simple interest. How much interest did he earn at the end of the year? So he only put his money away for 1 year. So the question was how much interest he's earned. So always read the question very carefully. Is it asking you how much interest, or is it asking you what is the total amount he has in the bank at the end of the investment? So here they're only asking for interest. Okay, so if you know what to do, pop it in the chat. I do want to see what some of you suggest we do here first before I do the calculation. What do you think we must do? Pop it in the chat. Sandy says it's 12,000. Anyone else? Any other suggestions? First, find the accumulated amount, some people say. The investment is for a year. So it's only for a year. Amachli says we must write down the given values. Okay. Let's do that. It's not a bad idea. So P is 80,000. I is 0.15 and N is 1. Nice way to set out your work, Amachli. It is. Okay. The question, guys, does not ask for the final amount. It only asks for how much interest. So we're going to take our 80,000 and we are going to times it by the interest and times it by 1 year, because the money is only in the account for 1 year. So the interest, and I'm going to call it simple interest, is 12,000. Yes, Kutlana, I think you learned PIN. That's another way of thinking about it. That's simple interest is P times I times N. Okay, that's how much interest he has. How much money that he's got at the end will be his 80,000 plus the 12,000. Okay, but that's not what the question asks, so we don't have to work that out. Okay. Let's go to question 3. And I'm going to give you about a minute to try this one. Put your answer in the chat to question A and question B when you are ready. Okay, so Tsiamu is asking a question. Ukukli, I can't scroll up now because people need to see the question. I'll scroll up at the end. How will you know when to use the PIN? I'm confused between the PIN and the simple interest. Both are simple interest formulas. The PIN formula just tells you the interest portion. And then the simple interest portion formula, the other one that we did, that tells you how much is in the account at the end. But if you calculate PIN, this one here in the first question, then you can just add it to the original amount and you'll get the accumulated amount. Okay, so Andile wants, let me just see, there's a few things happening here in the chat. Let's see. Andile wants to buy a flat screen television set. She takes out a loan of 6,500 at 12% per annum for 2 years. Calculate the simple interest. Okay, it does not ask you for the final amount. Question B asks for the final amount. This first question asks just for the simple interest. So we can say simple interest is 6,500 times 0.12, which is the interest, times by 2. Or in other words, as some of you have called it, this is PIN. Now, what is the final amount? Let me just write this answer here. 6,500 times 0.12 times 2 is 1,560. And then what is the final amount? There are 2 ways to work it out. Our formula, A is P1 plus I times N. Or we can say our final amount is the simple interest plus the principal. Because we've already gone through all the trouble of working out the simple interest in question A over here. So we might as well use it, or we just use the other formula. Okay. You choose, do it now, and pop your answer in the chat. Okay, so if we do it this way, we go the original amount, the principal that she borrowed was 6,500. The interest rate is 0.12 and in is 2 years. Or we can go simple interest amount, which is 1,650 plus the principal, which is 6,500. And both of these should get you the same answer. 1,5. That's 8060, and this is also 8060. Okay, so both of these methods work. All right, there's more than one way to do it. For simple interest, both of these are going to work. All right, let's see what else we're going to do. Okay, we can do that on Thursday along with some higher purchase. Okay, right, everyone, just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are happy with that and if you are understanding, and if not, feel free to ask a question. Kensani, we get 0.12 by taking the interest rate and dividing it by 100, because your interest rate must always be a decimal. Okay, great. Lots of thumbs up and no questions. All right. Thanks, everyone, and thanks for putting up with the load shedding disruption. It is the first time we've had it in this class, so it's not too bad. We've had a good run. Okay, so I'll see you again on Thursday. Have a good week, guys. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. I think we can let you go, so you can go sort yourself out in the dock. Sorry, ma'am. Bye-bye.
It's okay. I'll stick around for a little bit.
Okay, that's great, ma'am. Okay, just the poll for me, please, guys, and then you're free to go off. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Chena Miriam. Thanks for coming. See you Thursday.